Is this a herping vlog channel now? Hi everyone! This video is a compilation of the most interesting things that I saw on my most recent trip to the Southeastern United States. And we did some stops in Virginia, North Carolina, spent quite a bit of time in Florida, and stopped in Maryland on the way back. And to start off this trip, we were mainly looking for the timber rattlesnake. There's a cool fungus here. Looks like a kind of stinkhorn. It's an interesting type of milkweed here. I think it might be poke milkweed, but you can see the big seed pod there, big leaves. There's a couple of plants here. None of them are in flower, unfortunately, but big seed pods are distinctive. Pretty sure that's poke milkweed. I just found this little snake here. It has a nice red pink belly. Definitely a fossorial species, which means a burrowing species. I found it under this board here. It's pretty cute, nice and small, but yeah. I want to find out what that is. It's a lovely little snake. Whatever it is, it's the first one I've ever seen like it. Kind of looks like a cross between a Brahminy blind snake and a ringneck snake, I guess. It's got that sharp end of the tail there. Helps with digging. It's got that sort of head. Helps it burrow through the ground. Keeping an eye out for copperheads here. I don't think I'd find a timber rattler here. I think it's too lowlandy. I think they call them something different yet. They call them canebrake rattlesnakes here. But it's good forest, and I want to see what we can find. Here's an orchid that I'm actually quite familiar with. It occurs in Ontario, and it's called downy rattlesnake plantain. The flowers aren't quite out yet, but what's really striking about this plant are the leaves. As you can see, they've got this beautiful sort of tessellated, scrawled pattern on them. This one's called downy rattlesnake plantain. And those leaves are persistent throughout the winter. So if you came here in the winter, you'd be able to see those leaves still there. And it seems like it's just on the verge of flowering. But yeah, that's nice to see. I'm pretty familiar with these. See them back home. What you got there? Now this is a really nice, huge rough green snake, Florida rough green snake. This is the first one I've ever seen, and it was just sitting in the path here, and I've kind of been wanting to see one of these for years actually. Now at first glance it looks very similar to the smooth green snake that I showed you recently in another one of my videos back in Ontario. But if you remember in that video I mentioned another species that was very similar to the smooth green snake, but isn't found in Ontario, but rather in the U.S., called the rough green snake, and that's what this species is. If you look very carefully at the scales, you'll notice that it has keeled scales, which means it's got a little line down the center of every scale, a little ridge. And if you were holding the snake, and if you sort of touched it, you'd notice that it feels rough. It feels a lot rougher than the smooth green snake. And you'll also notice that nice yellow. That's another feature, I think maybe of the Florida green snake. This is the Florida subspecies. Alright, so I'll just put it right back where I found it here. And we'll see it go. That is one big green snake, look at that. And see, look, it's going up into the bush. It's moving really easily in the bushes. That's one thing about rough green snakes. They're a lot more arboreal, or not quite arboreal, semi-arboreal than the smooth green snake. They like to hang out in bushes like that. They like to go up and climb in bushes, and they like to be up off the ground, just like that, just like that. Smooth green snake does that too, but the rough green snake does it even more. Check out this awesome beetle, guys. This awesome scarab here. It almost looks like a triceratops. It's got little horns there. It's just on the sandy little path here. Here. It's got sort of a red underbelly. This is a rare plant here. This is called the Curtis's milkweed. And this plant is, I believe, threatened. It might be vulnerable, and it's found only in this part of the world, only in Florida. Here's another typical Florida scrub species. This is the oak toad. It's a very small species of toad. They don't get much bigger than this, and they have that really distinct stripe down the back. They like sandy environments. There he is, or she. Getting out of the sun there. Here we have the Florida cottonmouth, common venomous snake species in Florida. This guy has a little bit of a weird looking mouth. Oh, it's very buggy out tonight. But yeah, that's the Florida cottonmouth. You can't really see in the shot, but he's got cat-like pupils, slit pupils. And at the beginning there, you could see its white mouth, and you can see the diamond-shaped head there, and he's just going off into the grass. Check out this little mud turtle I just found on the road here. It's got a big leech on it, and he was just crossing the road. This is a, I'm not sure if this is a he or a she. Yeah, I think it's a male. See the partially hinged plastron? There's the face. I would have gotten this shot outside, but it's a bit safer to do it in the car. This road's pretty busy. Lots of cars going by tonight. See that big leech? Yeah. Just on the shell. This guy might have been hit if we hadn't gotten him. Here, I'll go put it back now. It's coming a bit out of its shell now, more. But you can see the head. All right, I'll go put this guy off the side of the road in the direction he was going. He was headed this way. So I'll just put him right here, just a little bit off the road, right there. Yep, and he'll just crawl away from there. All right, he's nice and safe. Great. Keep our eyes out. Could be a mud snake around here somewhere. Could be anything, really. Well, don't bring it up! Get off! It's on my face! Get it off me! That sucked. Yeah, see, look, very cool. Pretty. Check out this amazing yellow rat snake. That is huge. And that was on the middle of the road there. Look at that. Wow. Massive. Beautiful. See the nice stripe down the back and the orange yellow color. I've only ever seen one of these in the throes of death before. How long do you think that guy is? I don't know, 6 feet? 7 feet? Pretty big. Just got this lovely little corn snake here off the road. This little snake was right in the middle. That's a pretty young one, but still got that nice orange and yellow coloration and a checkerboard pattern on the stomach there. This is a member of the rat snake family. Okay, I think I'll just take it back out and put it on the other side of the road in the direction that it was crossing, in a safe spot. I'm so thirsty, I'm almost tempted to drink out of that spring. Oh. Look at this. Oh shit. Look at that. Shit, look at that. Just sitting right there. First one I've ever seen. I've been looking for one of these for years. They're not easy to find. Just sitting there. And that's the light phase. There's a dark phase as well. That one's basically all sort of brown and black. This one's the light phase. You can see the diamond-shaped head, and you can just sort of see the cat-like pupil there that helps identify it as a pit viper. Big, heavy body. I've been looking for the timber rattlesnake for a long time now. Like a long time I've really wanted to see one, because this species used to occur in Ontario, the timber rattlesnake, but they were all killed there. They were murdered and extirpated from the province by people who were afraid of them, thinking that they were going to come after them or bite them. But as you saw with that one, they're very docile. And like anyway, even if they do come after you, like it's because you're in their habitat. Like it's just shame on the people for killing and destroying such a beautiful snake and driving it out of Ontario. The last one in Ontario was seen in the late 30s or the early 40s in the Niagara area. They used to be fairly abundant along the escarpment there. And in fact, maybe you've been to Rattlesnake Point in Ontario, which is not far from Hamilton, and you've wondered why it's called that, because there's no rattlesnakes there. You might have thought maybe it was named after the Massasauga rattlesnake, the eastern Massasauga, that does occur in Ontario, but it was actually named after the timber rattlesnake that used to be fairly common there.
And the Latin is?
And the Latin name for the timber rattlesnake is Crotalus horridus. Again, shows what people used to think of them. Horridus, meaning sort of horrible or not something you want to see. I don't think the population in Ontario was ever huge. I think there was certainly numbers of them, but I think it was a pretty limited range. I think that was the very edge of their northern range there. But as for actually looking for them, I'd say it's about four years I've gone to places specifically trying to find one, and I haven't managed to do it. I haven't managed to find one. I've done some long hikes up mountains trying to find them.
They're just very temperature
they're
oriented,
very
right?
sensitive to temperature. They like to hide under rocks. They blend in really well with the forest floor. They're just tough to find, and also, as you saw with that one, they don't really move when you come near them. They don't really rattle. They just sort of sit there and look at you. So it's hard to tell that they're there unless you either step on one, which you don't obviously want to do, or you spot one, like I did with that one. So that's another reason that they're just so hard to find. So it's been about 4 years since I've been doing dedicated searches for Crotalus horridus, but it's only now that I've found one. So I'm pretty excited, pretty happy.